That thing is famous? Why? I don't know!
Welcome to Watch Mojo's Cartoon Countdown, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times South Park roasted TV shows. Number 10. I Shouldn't Be Alive. In this episode, the boys go on a ziplining trip, or as the show puts it, a trip from hell. While it seems like the episode is mocking Animal Planet's I Shouldn't Be Alive, it's all in good fun, really, and they even got the show's narrator, Eric Myers, to act as narrator for this episode.
Oh my god, they killed Kenny.
Whether you love or can't stand reality shows or overly serious documentary shows, this episode is a must-watch. Number 9. Jersey Shore. Now this was more mocking and criticism. It's a Jersey thing shows Kyle slowly coming to accept his New Jersey roots, going through transitions similar to that of a werewolf. In addition to poking fun at New Jersey folks and celebrities, the show went for some of the Jersey Shore cast, most notably Nicole Polizzi, aka Snooki.
What is it? It's called a snooki.
Even Teresa Giudice of The Real Housewives of New Jersey said she was honored to be mocked by them. Number 8. WWE. After seeing a WWE event, the boys sign up for wrestling at their school only to find out it wasn't anything they had hoped for. Frustrated, they form their own pro wrestling organization. Most of the matches are nothing more than talking trash to each other over ridiculous and petty things. And if there's any fighting to be had, they're just smacking chairs against each other.
Oh, what a perfect night for fighting! Lo, the moon sets upon the tips of the trees, and I, the man known as the Red Russian, start to stir with the excitement of violence.
Number 7. Here Comes Honey Boo Boo.
I'm only 6 and I've already had 3 heart attacks, girlfriend!
Here, the show criticizes how unsavory shows like Here Comes Honey Boo Boo don't seem to exist because they're interesting or meaningful. It's mostly there because of shock value.
I want that one! I want that one!
However, the end of the episode sees the show call itself out for adding to the trend in their own way, having used shock value itself for years and years.
She's got a pig heart now. She thinks she's a pachyderm.
Number 6. Shopping channels. Cash for Gold sees Stan try to expose the manipulation behind home shopping networks, specifically the fictional J&G shopping network.
Marcia, thank you so much for your call. You just got yourself a heck of a deal on this one.
The entire episode explains how shopping networks play a part in the vicious cycle of the Cash for Gold business model, showing how consumers can be cheated out of their money through cheap jewelry that will eventually be recycled into another piece of cheap jewelry.
I'm running a resale business, but I can't get enough of people's unwanted crappy jewelry to keep up, so I'd like to buy some of yours.
Number 5. Nanny 911, Supernanny, and the Dog Whisperer. Carmen is such an unruly child that it seems impossible for anyone to gain control over him. The show immediately does away with Nanny 911 and Supernanny as both Stella Reed and Joe Frost fail to get their methods to work on Cartman. And so, Leanne is left with one last reality show star, Caesar Milan from The Dog Whisperer.
You can stop talking behind my back. I'm right here, fruitcake.
See, I'm not looking at the child, I'm not acknowledging the child, I'm just letting the child know I'm not interested in him.
Number 4. The Food Network. If you've watched any show on the Food Network, you're probably aware of the sometimes suggestive nature of their programs. South Park certainly noticed, as evidenced by the Cream Fraiche episode. See, Randy seems to get turned on by the sight of pouring sauces over food, and it doesn't help when personalities like Guy Fieri are remarking so much on meat juices. In addition to the questionably erotic terminology used by Food Network hosts, it also pokes fun at several of the network stars, including Gordon Ramsay, Jamie Oliver, Bobby Flay, Giada De Laurentiis, and several others.
Cream Fraiche, cafeteria Fraiche, la 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 Fraiche.
Number 3. Game of Thrones. Anyone who has heard of Game of Thrones knows about the show's notoriously slow burn and tendency to kill off characters without a moment's notice.
You're gonna have to walk slower than that, you've got a while.
We can walk really slow, look.
As expected, characters are dying and betraying each other left and right, but it goes about in ways that make sense outside of the sake of comedy. It also uses the violence and conflict to commentate on the absurd nature of console wars in the video game community. Number 2. The Simpsons. Professor Chaos is ready to wreak some havoc onto South Park once more, but he seems to be having some trouble this time around. According to his lackey, General Disarray, every plan in the professor's book has been done already by The Simpsons.
Why didn't you tell me The Simpsons already did that?
Indeed, The Simpsons has been around longer than any show probably should, even at the time this episode aired. Number 1. Family Guy. Fed up with everyone comparing him to Family Guy, Cartman travels to Fox headquarters to get the show cancelled forever, with Kyle trailing behind to foil him. Throughout the episode, South Park criticizes Family Guy's formulaic and seemingly random cutaways, going so far as to say the show is written by manatees.
They really are brilliant creatures. You see, the right side of the tank is filled with idea balls. Each idea ball has a verb, noun, or pop culture reference written on it. There's millions of them. The manatees choose an idea ball and swim it over to the joke combine on the other side of the tank.
Normally, this sort of thing would cause some drama between folks, but to everyone's shock, Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane praised the show.
Come on, Muhammad, let's get some tea.
Try my Mr. T. Tea.